Widespread protests happening overnight after a grand jury's decision to clear a white New York police officer in the chokehold death of an unarmed black man.
Now, this comes a little more than a week after the Ferguson decision, and it is only adding to the lingering outrage. Brandy Powell has been following the latest developments overnight. Brandy.
Megan, protests were happening in New York City and across the country after a grand jury announced Officer Daniel Pantaleo would not be indicted for killing Eric Garner. This is cell phone video taken by a bystander of the moments, those last moments of Garner's life back in July. It clearly shows a white police officer holding an unarmed black man in a chokehold, even as he repeatedly gasped, "I can't breathe." All this after police confronted the father of 6 who has asthma for allegedly selling loose cigarettes. Despite the visual evidence and a medical examiner ruling Garner's death a homicide caused by compression of his throat and chest, a Staten Island grand jury decided Officer Pantaleo did nothing illegal. Attorney General Eric Holder says federal authorities will conduct a civil rights investigation. Now, the protests were relatively peaceful last night in New York City. This is in contrast to some of the Ferguson demonstrations that got unruly. Now, a lot of people are comparing this case to the death of Michael Brown in Ferguson. Both do involve white police officers killing unarmed black men in confrontations over relatively minor crimes, but there are some major differences. In Ferguson, police did not acknowledge any wrongdoing. In New York City, the mayor called Garner's killing troubling and promised an investigation. And the police commissioner said the officer used improper chokehold. In Ferguson, no one recorded video of Brown's fatal encounter. This New York City case, well, those final confrontations, those final moments were recorded on cell phone video. Megan.
Well, Brandy, today we know at 1 o'clock the group Black Lives Matter Minneapolis will protest. They're demanding justice for Eric Garner and Michael Brown. They'll be at the Burger King at 34th and Nicollet Avenue South in Minneapolis. And then at noon, protesters are scheduled to stand in solidarity with the fast food workers who are striking. About an hour later, demonstrations being called #ShutItDown on Twitter will begin.
The time is